Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Oh, welcome back to the Wildcast Studios for a post-Family Day episode of the Wildcast podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats. As always, fan listeners, I am your host, Adam, and I am joined by your favorite co-hoster and apparently hockey game picker extraordinaire, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. How was your Family Day weekend, bud?
Family Day was quite busy, actually.
Yeah.
I had the father-in-law and the brother-in-law up from Nova Scotia, and they brought me some Bobby Margarita.
Oh, yeah, and?
Bob McKenzie, the new Bobby McKenzie Margarita.
Yep.
I did give a official review of it
Right.
on the
Was
Twitter.
it 7?
I gave it a 7. Yeah, you know what? It was us Maritimers. We like our alcohol, right? And of course, Upper Canadians like Bob McKenzie, they're not used to that hard liquor, right? They're
Right.
not,
Yeah.
They can't handle their booze like us. And you know what? I probably could have used a little more tequila in that drink. Could have probably got a little more.
Who can't,
Yeah,
right?
a little
Who
more
can't?
triple sec in that drink because it's 5%, right? 5%.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's like a
That's like a beer.
it's
That's like a Bud
Coors
Light.
Light.
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Oh,
Give me something heavier.
I thought it'd be like at least 7, 8%.
Yeah, give me something heavier. So that could easily be a 7, 8, 9% drink, and here to some watered down 5% garbage. And but it's got that authentic that margarita taste.
Yeah.
But it's as if it's a watered down margarita.
Okay.
Which is that kind of disappointed me. I had higher expectations. But I drank 3 of them like back to back, so I had a pretty good buzz on. So other than that, pretty good. Good post Drummondville victory drink that was
Yes.
waiting for me at home.
Yes.
So other than that, I'm excited for him to come into New Brunswick. Hopefully by the summertime, because it will be a good summer drink. It's whether it's on ice or just straight out of the can, it'll be a good summer drink.
Maybe that's the key. You can't just have one like Lay's chips.
Yeah,
5% you can't have one, so you have 6 or 7, and that makes up for it. We went to Halifax last weekend, so we didn't go anywhere this weekend, obviously, with a lot of hockey. So it was a lot of relaxing, getting some house cleaning done, building some boxes for Layla's foundation. So just a nice, simple weekend, which, I've joked many times, you're welcome, New Brunswick, for this holiday.
Yeah.
Alberta's had it since like 1990, which I didn't even realize. I thought we had it for like 10 years or whatever, but yeah, no, 1990. And your first holiday was February 15th, 2018, and I arrived on February 6th, 2018. So
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Yeah, one of the good things I brought to this province along with this show, I guess. Amazing race. Lulu and Lala are gone, which, man,
You know what they should have done, right? They should have checked into the pit stop and taken the penalty,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, because they were there.
Way too early. They
Isn't
missed
it like,
the turn.
isn't it a half-hour penalty?
I believe so, yeah.
I mean,
Unless that wasn't allowed, but why? Yeah, I didn't even think of that till you just said that. Why wouldn't you do that?
unless it's a longer penalty. But I was always under the impression that if you don't complete a
A task.
task, it's a half-hour penalty. So I don't understand why they just didn't check in and say, "Look, we'll take the penalty," unless they're one of those,
Unless it's one of the new rule things.
Yeah, my family will be disappointed in us if we don't finish every task.
Your
but-
family's disappointed because you got eliminated.
Yeah, exactly. Right, just take the penalty. But some of those teams, I mean, they went. How many of those souvlaki's did they eat?
Oh.
2 or 3, right?
They ate 3, and she couldn't get through it. Like, she didn't like onions.
Yeah,
she can't eat
it's
onions, so she's getting sick trying to eat it because they stuck the clue on the paper, which
was pretty neat.
genius, 'cause
I liked
every
that.
team threw it away.
Yeah.
And then went, "Where's the clue?" Like,
Oh, check the garbage.
yeah, I like the Natalie in Iran. How do you spell Slovakia? Chuzlaki. Chel.
And her dad literally is a chef. Like,
Yeah.
He works in the kitchen or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've never had souvlaki. Like, literally, anytime I go to pita pit,
Yeah.
you got to have the chicken souvlaki.
Yeah.
Like, it's, for me, like, I wouldn't know how to spell souvlaki with my eyes closed, right?
But it's one of those clues that it seems too simple. You spell it, you eat it, and they give you a clue. Like, that seems
What's wrong with that?
too simple. Yeah. So
Two of my strong points, spelling
Yeah.
and eating.
that is true. So that was last week, and now we get into the show that everybody knows we love, The Masked Singer. Debuted with its, I don't have the music up, but we'll get that when the show starts, March 9th. We had some clues. it's good, bad, and ugly. You said
No,
I think?
good, bad, and cuddly.
Cuddly. That's what
Yeah.
it is. So some clues online. There was a Rams mask.
Yeah, with a number 6 on it.
Yep.
Way too obvious is Johnny Hecker, kicker for the Los Angeles Rams, Super
Yep.
Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. Way
True.
too obvious. Another one was a guy, the Prince mask or something like
The
that.
Prince mask. Yeah, it's a frog.
And it's a frog wearing a number 30 and like a blue and yellowish color.
So I was just thinking, like when you said like Steph Curry, a lot of people are saying Steph Curry is too obvious.
Yeah.
What if it's not Steph, but Aisha? Now we haven't heard this sing the frog sing
And
yet.
she's been guest on the show before.
Yeah, and the Prince mask leads you to be a guy. I get that, but number 30, Golden State colors,
Yeah.
crown, so princess, I guess, prince,
Yeah.
whatever. Her son, her husband is a 3-point king, but she has a lot of things going on. So frog jumping around, doing a lot of different things. So I was just like, well, if it's not Steph, maybe it's Aisha.
It's very she's been guest on the show before. So very that's a good one. I'm still hoping for an Andy Sandberg or an Anna Kendrick appearance here.
Yeah.
There was one clue that's like a map, like a treasure map. They're right there.
Cyclops, yeah.
So it's Lonely Island.
All
Right?
right.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that
like-
one came to mind. So maybe an Andy Sandberg.
And
or
again,
an-
we've never heard any of these sing.
Yeah,
These are just
these-
on Twitter.
Yeah. So we're just, throwing out some ideas here. Map, treasure map, Lonely Islands.
Yeah. I like
You
that.
never know, right? So just throwing out some, some premature. Wow, I was going to say ejaculation. Wow. Premature
ideas.
Premature guesstimations.
Yes.
And,
Guesstimations, yes.
And so that's what's March 9th, right?
Yep, March 9th.
So we're a few weeks away from that. So we're fired up.
Yeah, baby mammoth mask. The first clue is shoes from Dorothy. So
Right.
I'm thinking Broadway. And then, of course, Thingamabob is The Rock. So a lot of clues there. Could be.
Yeah.
Maybe it's John Cena. He likes to perform. He likes to be in masks.
Very well could be, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's exciting. That's the best
Yep.
part is we're again going to have a season that rolls into Masked Singer season, and your Big Brother Canada starts.
Big Brother Canada starts next month.
Next month.
Canada's Got Talent starts next month. So we could be, by the end of March, we could be full blown, pop culture on this
We
show.
might have to
and,
expand this to 2 days a week, pop culture on one day, and hockey on the next.
Screw the Wildcats. It's
Yeah.
going to be the pop culture podcast Wildcast, and we'll be, maybe 2 nights a week we'll be in the studio.
Let's
To change the background.
yeah, background changes. If you can find a background, we can do that.
Yeah.
As always, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, and don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube. A quick question. This has nothing to do with hockey. I saw this question on Twitter, I believe on 90s WWE Twitter account, which if you grew up in the 90s watching wrestling, it's one of the best accounts. It never misses. So what WWE entrance music is your Mount Rushmore? So not your wrestlers on your Mount Rushmore, your intro music. And, you can pick WWE, WCW because they're kind of all in the same thing. So do you want to go first with your first four, or do you want me to go first? I mean, 2 of ours are the same.
Yeah. Growing up, there's not another entrance song. They got you so fired up. They got the every time you heard it, it was just a
the
pop.
Yep.
Right, and that's Stone Cold, right? It's just such an iconic song that it's been memed,
Yeah.
with Bill Belichick coming out of the tunnel and all, or it's just such an iconic entrance song. It doesn't matter, he could show up on SmackDown this Friday night, and
Yeah.
the place would go absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a
And it's crazy to watch those old videos with all the signs, and when that music popped,
yeah.
everybody was up,
it was
everybody
just-
was loud. It
didn't
was
matter if you liked him or not,
Yeah,
because if you didn't
that's-
stand up, you wouldn't get a good
good
view of
view,
him,
yeah.
right? So it's just a classic.
Yep,
Just
that's
a classic.
easily one. The other one, I mean, everybody sang this one. Everybody knows this one. One of the best wrestlers, heels just performers of all time, and his music is just, once you hear it, you just kind of know exactly what's coming.
This played at my wedding.
Yeah, I don't.
Right? This played at my wedding. It was requested at my wedding reception, and I sort of the place went absolutely nuts.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. You know, Pat McNeil at my wedding. I mean, you hear this song, he's just gonna, you know, he's gonna go off, and you know, it's everybody knew this song at my wedding. It was probably the song that I think most of the guys were like, they started taking their clothes off, and it's I was naked by the time this
I don't doubt that.
right.
I was gonna say, was this requested for you to get naked for Megan? So, I'll go with my number 3. This one, when you hear this one, it was kind of it wasn't the reaction of the Stone Cold, but you knew what was coming, and it wasn't it was the music, the guys, and then the intro in the ring after that.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call
Somebody. Yeah, the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg Jesse James, Badass Billy Gunn, and like I said, it wasn't just the music. It was when they got in the ring, you know, like their intro inside the ring after the music. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, your new 8, and everybody sang it or said it along with them. And then, of course, Billy Gunn grabbed the mic, and if you ain't down with that, we got 2 words for you. What do you got?
My third one, probably one of the better factions that have been around for in WWE history, WWF history, DX. I mean, I mean, just the Triple H, the Shawn Michaels, the X-Pac, these guys were just, I used to have a DX shirt. I mean, you know, I think if you were a wrestling fan in the 90s, you either had A, a DX shirt, B, an Austin 316 shirt, or C, both. Right?
I had B.
Right? It was just like one of those things where you just had to have it. And I think it was like, you know, you just go to school, and it had like the suck it written on the back, right?
Yeah.
And you just go to school. If you wore that to school right now, you'd probably be sent home because your attire is inappropriate for school. But you wear that to school in the 90s, and you're literally, there's 10 other people wearing the exact same shirt. So there was nothing teachers could really do about it.
No.
Because the teachers probably watched wrestling too.
The teachers had it underneath their suits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those ones where it was just it's just you know, that song jacks me up every time I hear it too.
And it was an organic group that started with Shawn and Hunter.
Yeah.
And then when after WrestleMania, Shawn had the back surgery, so it became Hunter's faction, and it rivaled what NWO was doing in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a 3-month stretch there in the late 90s where Monday nights, if you had 2 TVs, you were lucky. If you didn't, you were flipping back and forth because
the rivalry,
both was live, and you didn't know. One of my favorite moments was DX trying to go into
WCW with the tank.
Yeah, because at that time, you didn't know that Diesel and Razor Ramon, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were friends, like the Clique. Like there was, like they were saying, let him in. This is amazing for TV. You didn't know that. So, obviously my last one, I mean, 25 years, the greatest WrestleMania performer. He's going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Oh.
I mean, that's what rivaled Stone Cold's music early on, is when you heard that bell and the lights went out. It was going to take 45 minutes for him to get to the ring, but like I just got chills just hearing that music.
That's the reason why I don't like this song, because it still gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
Yeah.
you know, it's not a song I want to hear. Like it's just, it bothers me. It still gives it. I'm still, I even as a 37-year-old man, if there was a WWE house show that came to the Avenir Center and I heard that song, I would probably run out the doors because it would scare the crap out of me.
And that's what it was designed to do.
Yeah.
The dead man, is he alive? Is he dead? Like, I remember being a kid, like, no, Mom, I swear, he's not alive. No, he can't be. You can't come back from that. I swear, Mom. No, you can't. He's going to the Hall of Fame this year. So, for me, those 4, Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, the New Age Outlaws, and the Undertaker are my 4 Rushmore entrance music. Your 4th one?
My 4th one, it's not necessarily the song that I like, but it's the crowd reaction.
Right.
Like Kurt Angle, he comes out and it's and the crowd just loves it. He loves it. He loves getting egged on. He knows it's coming. You suck. You suck. I wish they'd play this at the Wildcats game.
You know what? Based on the refereeing we've seen the past couple games, they should.
I would love to have that song played, and especially to start pointing at the refs and say you suck. Might actually get might actually start getting a get the message here.
Yeah.
Right. So those are my top 4. Stone Cold, DX. Who was my second one? They're missing again.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, right? So sorry, and Kurt Angle. The Kurt Angle one is just just the crowd reaction that I like about it. And it's not the song. It's just who everybody gets into it.
Surprised none of us. I guess none of us. Neither one of us picked John Cena. That's one of those.
John
that's one
Cena,
of those.
It's.
That's another one of those early in the 2000s when that music came on. That was another one that elicited a reaction, whether it was good or bad.
Yeah, and it's just one of those ones where it's still around.
Yeah.
Right. You still hear it almost every week. So it will be it will be one of the greatest of all time. But the fact he's still still around, right? I was just basing mine on guys who were out and
and that's kind of what I did. The only one that I went back and forth on, and like I said when I brought this question up to you, I mean Bret Hart, Randy Orton. This one was just on the edge for me. And it was edge. Yeah.
My dentist is related to him.
Really? Yeah.
It's Dr. Copeland in Moncton.
Really?
Yeah. Told me that one time when I was like, probably because I went to a dentist appointment wearing like a DX shirt or something like that. No, he says he's related to Adam Copeland somehow. I just don't know. He never said how how the relationship was, but yeah, pretty neat.
That is pretty awesome. So we'll have that poll up, and give us your Mount Rushmore as wrestling fans. I'd like to hear Pat's and Dave's and maybe Aiden's, wrestling fans that we know. I'd like to hear what their Mount Rushmore of entrance musics are. But let's get to some news and notes from around the cube.
News and notes from around the queue.
That could be a wrestling entrance theme. Could be, so the top prospects game was announced last week. 40 players were announced among the 7 named for the QMJHL. We now have a reason to watch at 10 o'clock at night, Atlantic time, as Max Barbashev was named to the game Wednesday, March 23rd in Kitchener. He was one of the 2 names we kind of threw out, him and Loshing. Good for him. He's not doing what he needs to offensively, but he's got a good 200-foot game. And I
think he's picking it up.
Yeah,
I think,
exactly.
It's unfortunate that I think he's kind of in protocol right now.
Yep.
I think we can probably safely say that.
If Tim can say it, we can say it.
Yeah. So he's probably out for 5. Do they still have to do the 5-day isolation?
As far as I know, it's 5 days.
Yeah. So he'll be.
He
out.
might be back Friday. Depends when he's.
Yeah. Probably cut some slack there. Make him wear a mask when he's playing.
No, if the women can do it to win a gold medal, he can do it.
Yeah, exactly, right. So I think that's just gonna get him going, right?
Yeah.
And you can see he's on another level right now. Ty Bell is really starting to come around.
They got a little bit of chemistry.
Yep, they sure do. But yeah, the prospects game, the fact that Jordan Dumais didn't get invited is, I think, is an absolute joke.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably one of the best prospects forward wise in the queue. And I don't know if it was just a miss by the selection team here, but wow, how do you miss him? Unbelievable, 53 points, and that's not including this weekend's games. That was just the last time I looked at how many points he had. But
and it's not like he's not like he's playing in Baie-Comeau. It's not like he's playing in a smaller market.
He's playing
in a big market with Elliot Denoyer. He's playing with Zach LaRue. When he plays, he's playing with top line minutes, and he's producing.
Yeah. So
I feel like he is at least going to be the first alternate. Like if there's an injury coming down the line, he better be on that list.
He's got to be. I mean, it's the fact that I don't want to go on a rant here because you
Because you got another one coming up here in a minute.
well, hopefully, but yeah, just a total miss by whoever is responsible for picking these games, like these teams. Like it's you're right. If there's an injury here coming up, and he's not the first one to get the call,
Somebody really made a mistake.
yeah. Like it's again, I don't know who missed out of the OHL or who they missed out of the WHL, but I mean you're saying no to a guy who's got probably 55 plus points right now,
Something like that. Yeah.
and he's not going to the top prospects game. Yeah, give me a break.
Yep. So the other 7 names that were named: Nathan Gaucher from the Rempart, Maverick Lamoureux from the Voltigeur, Tristan Leno, Antoine Véro, and Noah Warren from Gatineau, and then Ivan Shigaloff from the Sherbrooke Phoenix. The Hooked On School Award for the QMJHL, which goes to a player on every team, so for the Wildcats, goes to Johan Loshing, as he was named. So he gets the academic perseverance presented to a player from each team for the Gervais Munger Award. He gets a $500 scholarship as well as a commemorative plaque. So good for him being named that. And finally, the QMJHL draft presented by FenPlus will be live
On a Monday
online
and Tuesday.
July 4th and July 5th.
A Monday and a Tuesday.
Yeah, this is all. The Monday, Tuesday is because they got to find a time to put it on, and the Memorial Cup ends at the end of June 29th, I believe. The NHL draft is July 7th, 8th, and 9th on that weekend. It's Canada Day weekend before. So the only time you slot it is the 4th and the 5th, but Monday and a Tuesday virtual. Now, I had someone reach out and on, you probably saw it on the...
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Just that he will be surprised if this ever goes back to live without quite a fight. Because, I mean, it's a financial effort from a lot of teams. And to go there, to go wherever, where there was Quebec or it was Sherbrooke, I think it was destined to go the year it was canceled.
Yep.
Cape Breton. I mean, that's your whole team taking all the resources to a city for a weekend. That's, the Q, whether they pay for hotel rooms or the parents pay for hotel rooms. That's a big venture for these teams, and it could be spent elsewhere. And I totally understand that from a financial point of view, especially coming out of this pandemic. I get it. But one of the points I brought up to this informed gentleman, and I don't mean that bad, like he's informed, he's in the know. The NFL used to have it at Radio City Music Hall, so it was a tiny hall. They allowed fans in. The teams had a representative at a table. They still kind of do it at larger scale now, but they only invite the top 20 players. I guess that'd be the top 40 players in the NFL. So maybe invite the top 25 players that are projected to go in round 1, just them. And round 1 has the commissioner, has the jersey in a small auditorium. You got a table for each team. So, Moncton would send a couple of their interns or whatever. Hell, send us to answer the phone. No, but, Richie would phone into the table. We're going to take player X. Mm-hmm. Player X gives that piece of paper to the commissioner. The commissioner announces, the name gets the jersey. It limits the amount of people that are there for like teams, families. It eliminates how much teams spend on sending someone there. I mean, you're just sending 2 people for a weekend to answer phone. And you allow fans in this community to pay to get into the auditorium. And that's, I think where you were coming is make this thing at least a financial to offset with some fans. But I think that would be the best of both worlds. You don't have to have every player that's going to be drafted at this event. Send the top 30 prospects if you want, top 25. Maybe do round 1 and 2 where they get round 1 has to be jerseys. So top 25, round 1, send a group to answer the phones, and maybe that's a best of both worlds mix.
I'm having a hard time really putting it into words here.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody knows my thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I don't, unless I want to go on another rant. I don't want to go on another rant. But honestly, the fact that it's a Monday and Tuesday, is it's almost an inconvenience
Mm.
because look, I'm not gonna. I understand the round one's on a Monday night. That's fine. We usually record Monday nights. That kind of fits in perfectly with our schedule here. We can do a show, even though we probably won't have a first round pick. But then you go into Tuesday and it's an all day thing, and we're working.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't want to take a vacation day to follow a draft. Right. I would take a vacation day to go to the draft.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm not going to take a vacation day to follow the draft. Like there's a huge difference here. And it's upsetting. You know, I understand it's Canada Day weekend. It's also my wedding anniversary.
Maybe that's why.
You know, I'm not going to, okay, maybe good thing they didn't schedule it, in person this year on my wedding anniversary weekend, my 5th wedding anniversary weekend.
Yeah.
But Mondays, like this, the league continues to find a way to piss me off, and it's. And now you're gonna have a Memorial Cup final game on a Wednesday.
Is that what it is?
The 29th of June.
Yeah.
Is a bloody Wednesday, and you're gonna have a Memorial Cup championship game. Like,
yeah.
I just can't. I can't. Like, it's you're defeating the purpose of getting people excited. Like, if you're a St. John fan, you're probably not going to want to drink on a Wednesday because if you're playing in the final, you're going to want to remember it.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan like me, who's probably not going to have much investment in the game,
right?
Unless it's a WHL team that I cheer for, which it will not be the Calgary Hitmen, it will not be the Barrie Colts, and it will not be the Moncton Wildcats. So, I could go there on a Sunday, when the Memorial Cup final usually is, and have myself a few pops.
Yeah.
Right? But now it's on a Wednesday, and you're like, oh, crap, I have to go to work the next day.
Yeah. I got to take a day off.
Yeah.
Or I got to take 2 days off.
You're forcing me to take vacation days
Yeah.
that I don't want to take. Like, I'm already taking vacation. I don't want to take vacation to work around your schedule. I'm the fan. You work around my schedule.
And you know what? And I 100% agree with you. I don't think they had much of a choice because of the... Now, I say that, and then I think to myself, well, if you limit yourself to 60 games across the league, you can get the playoffs started a week earlier and maybe end this thing at a normal time. I mean, obviously the pushback pushes everything back, but you're so committed to 68 games. Why aren't we playing 60 and get the playoffs started a little bit early? Because we end on April 1st against St. John, so the playoffs don't start until April. May 1st.
Yeah.
So the playoffs don't start until May 6th and 7th. And even that, I think I saw somewhere where it started on the Monday. Like,
Probably.
So you're going to have Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday as games 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which I'm guessing they're going to go 5. And they're going to play some sort of schedule. So, I mean, if you're playing 60 games, you might finish that schedule April, 20...
Mid-April, at least.
April 16th. You can start the playoffs April 23rd. That gives you a week.
Yeah.
Like, our last 6 games are after April 16th. So we could end the season on the road on the 16th, start the playoffs on the 22nd, and you're already pushing a week advance. Then you don't have to compete with Canada Day. But, this stoppage pushed everything back, which just kind of makes everything an inconvenience. And, it's very frustrating, especially for groups like myself and Martin Leahy and Jamie Tozer and guys that don't exactly get employed by the team to go to these events to cover these events. Like the draft, we're taking time off work to go to Quebec to do all this stuff. When it was virtual, building the graphics and getting everything ready after the picks were done. I can't take a day off for that. I'm not taking a day off for it, so it's very frustrating.
I think the fact that it's, I don't know, maybe it's the fact we probably won't have a first round pick. We won't have much to do on a Friday night, but it's just
We made the most of it last year.
Yeah, we did. We had a pretty good time.
Yep.
Ended up interviewing a player that just got picked,
Yeah.
like Kyle Hagen, right?
Yeah.
And I just maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I'm not going to be excited because I usually drink, right? I usually drink at these things. Like last year,
Yeah.
we had a few drinks and watched the draft, and
Yep.
I think the year before that when we were still kind of in lockdown, right? When Loshing was picked, like that whole
Yeah.
Jacob Pelche trade draft where it took like
45 minutes for the pitch.
45 minutes. I'm sitting at home. I was probably 12 beer deep by the time it got to the
Yeah, exactly.
because it was like I like to enjoy myself
Yeah.
at these. I'm not.
And these
gonna,
are marquee events for your
yeah,
fans.
and I'm not going to go home and not going to sit on a Monday night and drink. It's like
Yeah.
it's just not my thing unless I just take the day off, which probably will. But just right now I just don't. I'm not going to be excited for a 6 to 8 hour draft on a Tuesday
Yeah.
afternoon. Like that's
when you know you got to go to work the next day. So you're going to sit in
Yeah.
front of your computer for 6 hours and then go to work the next day.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So hopefully this is the last. Hopefully everything works out next year. We got a full season on time, no breaks. The season ends when it's supposed to, and we get back to a weekend weekend draft, and fix something, Mr. Commissioner. We ask you, do something. Make this thing live. Like I said, invite the top 25 prospects. Have teams send somebody with a table, answer phone calls, and make it like the old NFL did in the in New York at the Radio City Music Hall. QMJHL Team of the Week was announced. I got to find it. There we are. Zach Bolduc, Maverick Bork, and Felix Lafrance were your forwards. Tristan Leno, Isaac Menard were your defensemen. And Jacob Robillard, the backup for Sherbrooke, was the Flames win.
They just scored with 46 seconds left in the third period.
Oh, good for them. Where was the goaltender? The backup for Sherbrooke was the goaltender of the week. So let's get into a little bit closer to home here.
Weekly Rewind.
All right, well, 4 games in this past week's stretch, so we're going to kind of get to them as quickly as we can. And the Wildcats are 19, 13, 3, and 1. So when we recorded, the game hadn't gone against Halifax. By the time you heard our show, the game had ended against Halifax. So the Wildcats now 19, 13, 3, and 1 for 43 points, 5th in the Maritimes, 6th in the Eastern Conference, I do believe, which gives us a series against St. John based on points.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, right now we're 6th, they're 3rd.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it might change, I guess, depending on because they haven't updated the standings.
It's not.
Depends what it
overall?
is. I'm going off points right now because they're trying to get a 68 game schedule in.
Yeah.
If they change that, they might go to percentage. But right now, I'm going off points.
Probably a
'cause-
fun series.
Yeah,
Okay.
ish. I think I'd rather play Quebec, but
I think I'd probably play somebody else.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, we got lots of time. To
Oh,
get
yeah.
into that. Lots of time to get into that. So, we get into the Tuesday night game. I mean, we got the 1 point, losing 4-3 in overtime to Halifax.
Should have been 2.
Better, could have been, should have been 2. Better effort against Halifax. We hadn't played them well all year up until that point. I mean, this was a game that had all the momentum in Moncton's way. And then, like I said, against the game against, I believe, Rimouski, where Langlois took a fight to get the team energized and get us back into this game. Dylan McKinnon challenged Casey. He took the fight, and unfortunately, a young player, he's going to learn that. It ended up turning the momentum all the way around for Halifax. They ended up coming all the way back, scoring 2 goals after that fight, and got it to overtime. And then one of the most egregious non-calls I think I've ever seen. I don't understand how a hit after the whistle where it's late, the head is the principal point of contact, and it was from behind into the boards. Denoye gets a double minor. If you watch the live, I just couldn't believe it was a double minor. And then somehow the guy that gets drilled into the boards gets 2 for roughing because he got up. So basically the cue is saying if you get drilled into the boards from behind and your head is hit first, lay on the ice, the penalty might be different. He gets 2 for roughing. We go 3-on-3 in overtime instead of a power play, and then a missed change, terrible change. And that's how this one ends. Vidicek goes top shelf, giving the Halifax Mooseheads the extra point. the fight changed the momentum.
Yeah,
It's great when it works, but when it goes against you,
you're right. It's again, this should have been a 2-point game here, where they they had the lead. They're having a difficult time. Well, in this case, holding leads. They're either having a difficult time holding leads or they're having a ridiculous comeback to win games.
Yeah.
So it's you never know with this team. It's like is it Jekyll and Hyde?
Yep.
You never know what to expect, right?
Yep.
And I think that's a classic Neil Hodge. He's written that about the Wildcats many times over his years as a reporter, where you just never know what you're going to see out of this team. And if we've seen it on full display ever since the trade period, where it's just a different. You go there and you're like, okay, well, you had a 2-goal lead going to the third period. No, not going to win. You lost.
Yeah.
3. You're losing by 3 with 8 minutes to go. Put it in the win column. You just it's not frustrating because it almost makes the games entertaining. But the ones where you come back, but it's, I think we kind of got our, I wouldn't say revenge against Halifax because, but
either way, the fact that
the fight was a turning point. The hit, probably could have been something out of that.
Well, I think it's hilarious that
I think the reason why it wasn't a suspension was because the play wasn't it kind of like a delayed offside or something?
Well, he didn't want to touch it.
He didn't want to touch it, right?
Yeah,
it was, and I think that's why he was intentionally not playing the puck. If the game was at full speed, I think the result of this call would have been different.
True.
But I think the non-homer side of me wants to say that OJ kind of put himself in that position by kind of being laissez-faire, not wanting to play the puck. He kind of did it upon himself to be hit. So that's my non-homer side of things, and I think very well the approach that the refs and the league took in regards to the hit too,
which is fine. But the fact that we don't get it's evened up. Even if it wasn't a suspension, which, I mean, you're making a very good point. He didn't play the puck because it was a hand pass, but
pass, right? I didn't know if it was an offside
it was
or what, but it was
hand pass to it. But still, I mean, I don't know what more criteria you want for a league that gives you 10 minutes for willingly saying, hey, do you want to punch me in the face? And I'll punch you in the face. All right, let's go. You get an extra 10 for that. It's, I see both sides. Then you get into full 100% capacity. Yes.
What was it 4,000 ahead of that game?
3,400, which
34,
was
35?
I mean, it was all right. It was pretty loud. The Moosehead bar was back again. If fans just want to go to the Chris Rock and see if they're giving away free Moosehead passes, because you had to have a Chris Rock Tavern Moosehead light pass to get into that bar. Okay, but yeah, like you were saying, if this team could just play 55 minutes, like they could play the last 5 minutes of some of these games, just imagine what this team would be. Down 5-2 with about 8 minutes left. This was the game where our two Euros kind of found their chemistry that, we were looking for them to find. And, it was the difference. Ring the Tie Bell had 2 goals. He was the first star. But this was another game where, just like the Rimouski game, they got run in the second period, getting outshot 19-4. And, Jonathan Lemieux was good, keeping it only at 2 goals in that period with how much they were on their heels. And then somehow Moncton flipped the script. And, Pilot, his 3 goals this year, he hasn't scored with over 2 minutes left in the game, right? Like he's clutch from that point. And then
Clutch Antoine Pilot. That's his new name.
Done. That's his new hashtag. And then Ty Bell gets on a beautiful feed from Barbashev.
It's beautiful goal.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then Ty Bell again, standing in alone in the slot, finds the loose puck, puts it by, and then Thomas Auger in the shootout, the only guy to score, which I met his dad after the game, and I just asked his parents, I said, which one of you gave him his silky mitts? Because that guy's got some hands. Just goes just through the 5-hole on Mercer. if you paid to be in that hockey game, Moncton's going to give you an event,
Yeah.
like on the ice. Like I know people that were leaving at 5-4, 5-3, and it's just like
you draw the 50-50 numbers and everybody takes off.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And it's
that's why they don't do it till like 2 minutes left.
You're half the way out the door, and you're like, "Oh, fuck, screw this." One thing about this game is there's times you'll look at games and you'll say, you know what, they're in this position in the standings because of this game. I think going into this game, Moncton had I'm not sure if they were 2 points up on Drummondville or 1 point behind Drummondville, something like that. A loss in regulation, and they would have been tied in the standings. But they came back and got the extra point, and they took a 3-point lead on them in the standings. So it's like, they could have easily been tied.
Yep. But
that comeback gave them 3 points up on Drummondville in the standings. So it's just one of those things where you look back and you think, well, crap, if it comes down to it, and these two, and it's actually, the playoff seedings are overall. You look at this game and you're like, well, shoot, like Drummondville could have easily tied Moncton in the standings with this game, but because of that comeback, Moncton actually gets a more favorable, playoff opponent kind of thing. You just got to look at that thing and be like, whoa, crap, it's.
Yeah, so Moncton was 2 points up.
2 points up, right?
Yeah, they were at 39, Drummondville at 37.
There you go. So you lose in regulation, you're tied.
Yeah.
But they come back and they get that extra point to go up 3 points. And then another case in point, the next night or something like that, Drummondville goes and beats St. John in regulation, right?
Yeah, on a 56 save performance or 54 save performance by Jacob Gooby, who I thought we were actually going to see in Moncton.
And on the same night, Moncton wins against Halifax in the last minute.
Yep.
So, there's so many, that game against Drummondville and that game against Halifax, what I don't think people realize is how fortunate we were to see these 4 games in so many days because of how tight these teams were in the standings.
Yeah.
It's, it sucks to lose to Halifax, but it's like we could seriously have a first round series against Halifax, right? Like it's we could easily have our first round series against Drummondville. Like these are how close, it's that 8, 9, 10, 11 spot in the standings that are just going to be going back and forth the rest of the year. And we could, if the playoff seedings are overall, we could easily see one of these two teams as our first round opponent.
Yeah, I didn't even think of overall because I've just been going east and west thinking they were going to do that for travel. But, like I said on the live after, I think, the Saturday game, you've got playoff games every night as it comes down. Like, we took advantage of a favorable schedule to put us where we are. And, right now I think this is before Monday's game. We were 8, Rimouski was 9, Halifax was 10. Well, Halifax won, so they're going to go to 44 points. We're sitting at 43. So we're 8 and 9 with Halifax. That's a first round series. So and we've got them 2 more times as the season ends on April 8th and April 26th in the final week of the season. So, this is going to be playoff hockey every other night for Moncton. You're going to see, hopefully we get some bodies back, but you're going to see a playoff hockey at the Avenir Center, playoff type hockey every other game. And it's whether it's the overall standings or it's that 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7 spot in the Eastern Conference. Moncton, Rimouski, Halifax, Bathurst, I think Bathurst will end up separating and being a top 4, but Moncton, Rimouski, Halifax, maybe even Chicoutimi, that's your 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's going to be, those are going to move based on, you're going to be in 7th when you start the game and you could be in 5th by the time you're done. And that's exactly what the Q wants. That's exactly what, you want as a team, as an organization. Getting into Sunday's game, a 4-3 victory finally over Halifax, a late one by Vincent LaBelle. I believe Rousseau, who had a few 10-bell saves in the power play, kept this thing within reach. Your cousin took over with a hat trick that night. this was a huge game for the psyche of this hockey club.
Yeah.
Because if they lose again in a comeback fashion, being up 3-1, if they lose again in a comeback fashion to Halifax, I mean, that's a very big. It kind of reminds me of the first year that, not the second year in that building, where no matter what we did, we just could not get over the mental hump of beating Halifax in the regular season, and then we got swept in the playoffs in round 2. It just, there's something about Halifax, we just can't get over that mental hurdle to beat them.
Yeah, it's true, right? And it feels, anytime you beat Halifax, it feels great.
Yep.
Every time you lose Halifax, it feels worse.
It feels like we lost like 7 in a row right now.
Yeah. It's just the rivalry,
Mhm.
right? It's the jealousy that they've got, the banners and we don't, and and all that. But it's a jealousy factor that I think that comes into play here, and I think that's what, if we can get against a matchup against them in the first round, yeah, I'm probably gonna have a few heart attacks and probably
Yeah.
grow some gray hairs here.
Yeah.
But it would be a really good series, a really long series, I think.
Yeah.
With some tight games and overtimes and probably 6 or 7 games easily. I would love a series against Halifax.
Because and the first half of the year we didn't show up either game. I think I don't even think Moncton was in any of those games. Now that the trade period's over and everything's kind of, this is the team you're getting, we've been in every game with them, and they've been very close, come from behind, overtime type games. The Wildcats did go down 5-3 Monday night or Monday afternoon. We'll see if LaBelle gets suspended for waving at air, as he was given 2 minutes for.
I thought I saw a mosquito on the broadcast.
Could have been.
Right?
I think that's.
It was like that or a bumblebee that maybe just made its way into Scotiabank Arena.
If that's
Center?
your level of
Scotiabank Center Arena. I don't know
yeah,
what they call
it had to be something,
Metro
because
Center?
he go check out our video on Twitter. It's unbelievable that he got 2 minutes for slashing air. We'll have to see if they finally updated all the penalties here. So Archibald, conduct unknown, misconduct for Auger, Iasenza, Beauregard, Lafrance. So Zach Beauregard, who doesn't like to be touched and has no problem cross-checking Auger in the back. Auger fought back a little bit. Sucker punches him at the end of the game. It is what it is. They go down.
What are the misconducts again? Code unknown?
Code unknown, yeah. So he gets, where is it? Yeah. Misconduct, code unknown, misconduct, code unknown, and code unknown for Archibald, Auger, and Iasenza. And then Beauregard got 2 minutes for roughing. Lafrance got roughing, and Lafrance got a game misconduct for code unknown. So, okay, those are interesting. Moncton was 1 for 1 on the power play. I will say this power play in this past week has been better. They've jumped into the number 10 spot. The stats haven't updated as we get at the time of the recording because they haven't done Monday's games yet. But the team's in 10th place, 20%, 20.2% power play, and it's looking better every week. It's exactly what we thought we'd see. I didn't think Moran would be the quarterback, but I do like Moran on that quarterback play. We just need some injuries to come back. And that's what's hurting this team.
Well, it's injuries, it's illness,
Yeah.
it's
which we knew we were going to have.
Yeah, Francis Langlois is personal, so not sure what's going on with that,
Nope.
but we hope everything's good with him and his family, and it's
That's another centerman down the line that you use.
Barbashev is in protocol.
Yeah. Loshing is injured.
Loshing's
Casey.
is illness.
Yeah.
Casey is injured
For a couple
Connor
weeks.
Olsen is injured. I'm missing one, I think.
No, those are the 5, I believe.
Okay, yeah. So, we need guys to
But
get.
that's 4 forward. Like, that's your 4 forwards and a defenseman that you're missing. And Tristan Sanchez played on the weekend, played very well. We saw Ben Mercer make his debut on Monday night. I'd said on one of our shows after the Monctonian, big body, skates well. I didn't think he really looked out of place, but it's tough to see when you're not watching it live. But
100 career points now.
per Ben.
Yeah,
Mercer?
100 career points now in the Nova Scotia Midget League. He's played 3
Nice.
seasons, up to 100 points. He just had 100 points the other night. So crazy that he's, you rarely see that where a player hits 100 points. I mean, it's a superstar will have a good year, but he's drafted and gone the next year, right?
Yeah.
And then you see, third season in the league, just cracked the 100-point plateau the other night. So I was happy to see him in the lineup.
I hope I kind of maybe think he might stay. I guess it depends on Loshing's illness and
they
what
got a few
barbershop.
days off, right? They're not playing again until Friday.
Yeah.
So you got 3 full days to recover.
I can see him keeping him for practice this week, just for numbers wise, and he might get in Friday. But I think Sanchez probably gets in ahead of him. But I didn't have any issue with those 2 call-ups.
No, I didn't either
in the game. So
I wouldn't mind. Lounsbury I think is more on the depth chart, probably higher up when it comes to. But there's some COVID on the Moncton Flyers too. So there's you don't want to call up Lounsbury for that reason. And so you just got to find guys right now. And it's at one point you got to think, should these teams bring in a taxi squad like the NHL or what? But
didn't Gatineau have? Gatineau or Armada had 5.
Armada had 5 or 6 guys out.
That's what it was, and
both goalies.
Yeah,
Sheehan was out in protocol, and Gravel was in protocol. They had to call up some rookie I never heard of before.
It's just like when you start losing both your goalies, maybe just postpone that one game.
Yeah, Runa Branda was in the same position the other night too. They had 5 or 6 guys out, and you're like, holy shoot, how are you gonna do this? And you're really you're really giving your depth chart a good spanking when you got 5 or 6 guys out of your lineup. So it's tough to keep up, but you hope that never happens. I mean, if we last season we probably had 8 guys out of the lineup at one point,
like that,
and now we're at 5. So it's we're facing it. We're getting hit hard too.
And in a tough stretch too.
Amen. It's really really tough hockey right now.
I know a little interesting stat I found when I was looking at our record for leading after 2. We're 10-1-1.
Yeah.
Do you know what team is 0-7-1 when trailing after 2 periods? Actually, 2 of them are 0-7-1.
When trailing?
When trailing after 2 periods.
I don't know. Tell me.
Charlottetown and St. John.
Well, Charlottetown blew another one. They were right. They were.
Yeah.
Were trailing after? No, they had. Okay, never mind. They had a lead. They had a
lead and they lost it. So that's their first loss. They're 17-0 when leading after 1, 21-0 when leading after 2, and 0-7 when trailing after 2. And I saw that I was like, wow. And same with St. John, 0-7, 0-2. Like it just, I mean, Quebec is 0-9. Like just seems like these top teams you would think when they get down, nothing against them. I mean, the only teams that have almost close to winning records, Sherbrooke is 7-8. And Moncton's 5-9, and those are the most wins when trailing after 2 periods of those 2 teams. So that's just one of those funny things in a schedule and overall team records.
Sherbrooke really proved it when we had our visit there, right?
Did they ever? Yeah, and they almost did it again to Cape Breton, but they were able to shut that one down. Xavier Perront learned to skate in that game apparently. I mean, we got 2 games coming up, and they're not going to get any easier coming down this stretch. I mean, these 2 wins in the 3-3 were huge. You got Bathurst on Friday. They're coming off a win against Charlottetown. St. John, the return of Philip Daou, Thomas Couture.
Was that Sunday?
Sunday, yeah. So I would expect Philion's going to play against Bathurst, and it'll be Lemieux versus Couture on Sunday. The return of Daou. I mean,
get the video tribute going, right?
Yeah.
Be working on that, and then Wildcats office all week.
Yeah, they will.
They try to find all the Daou goals from what seems like 3 years ago now, and all the Couture saves. Hopefully, that's all saves against St. John because he played really well against him. And
They sure did. Yeah.
I might have to step out for a night on the town for that one.
Well, I may have a ticket for you, my friend.
Sweet.
I may have a ticket for you.
Let's go watch the St. John Cenas.
Yeah. See, there it is. There's that music. We knew we'd get to it. I mean, St. John and Bathurst, these are 2 of the top teams. These are the teams that are going to be 1, 2, 3. You just kind of hope that Moncton is healthy-ish against this club. I mean, I don't even know where to go with it because you need a healthy body because it's going to be tough against these teams. You have to play discipline. That is step 1. Mm-hmm. You cannot get into penalty trouble. I mean, they got into penalty trouble against Halifax on Monday. Halifax was 0 for 6. Bathurst and St. John probably aren't going 0 for 6, 0 for 7. Like, you cannot take penalties, undisciplined penalties against this team. Hopefully we should have. Oh, Anthony Hamel, that was the other one.
I knew I was missing one.
I knew you. I completely forgot because he wasn't actually announced after he had the takedown, slamming his head into the ice.
That
that was bad.
Pretty to watch.
Yeah, no, it sure wasn't. Yeah, so you kind of hope you have a healthy squad. It's you have to play discipline against these two players because these are 4-point games coming down the stretch.
Yeah, if they can put together a good effort, I'm not going to go out and say that they're going to win both these games. If I can win one of them, it would be nice.
Get 1 point at least.
Yeah, 1 point out of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. These are not going to be tough games. These are not going to be easy games, and they're not going to be easy the rest of the way.
Yep.
The schedule isn't very favorable to us. I know we still haven't seen Gatineau.
I would say out of the remaining games, there's 4 games the Wildcats are going to be favored against, and that's 3 against Cape Breton and at least 1 against Gatineau.
I wouldn't even say Gatineau was an easy game, right?
Well, it's depending on their when they're here, depending on their 3-3 situation, that might be the one. But I mean, we got 3 against Cape Breton, and that's the only game against a team that is below us in the standings.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
gonna be tough.
It's gonna be a tough 2 months.
But they always seem to come up, get up for these tough games, right? Like it's it's either it's the Jekyll and Hyde against the middle of the pack teams. It's either you're gonna get out yourself a lead and blow it, or you're gonna get down and come back. But they always find a way to get up for these big games and just shock the world almost. Like it's so hopefully we see a couple performances like that this weekend.
Yep, they got 31 games left. I think it was Daryl Sutter who used to break things down into a 5-game series.
Yeah.
5-game series, win the series. That's what you want to do, right? Win the series. So your first 5-game series is against Bathurst, St. John, Cape Breton, Halifax, Cape Breton. Mm-hmm. So win that 5-game series. You're all right in terms of your playoff.
Win 3 of 5.
Yep,
which is doable.
Which is absolutely doable. Let's get to everyone's favorite part of the show.
Eric Murray, Realtor, buy our house from him. Stick Tap of the Week.
All right, so I usually like to do small businesses or this and that, but something I tried for the first time the other day, which I thought was a huge convenience, was placing your order for groceries online and picking it up. Did you ever do that before?
Dude, we do that like almost every week.
Really? This is the first time I've ever done
Really?
it. Didn't even know it existed. Didn't even know it existed. So I decide Saturday morning to go on to the Walmart website.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm trying to make a grocery list. And it's like, shop here or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, geez, you can actually add stuff to your shopping cart. And then I'm like, okay, so I add like 30-something items to my shopping cart. And then I'm like, okay, cool. What's this going to do? Like send the list to my phone so I can check it off as I go get groceries and stuff like that? No. No. You can actually pay for your groceries
Yes.
online and schedule a pickup time.
Yes.
Or get them delivered to your house. My mind was blown.
Really?
I've never, ever. I was amazed. I was so blown away by this.
This is unbelievable.
And you go and you're like, holy crap, okay, here's my credit card number.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, pick a date and time for your pickup. I'm like, okay, you know what? Between 1 and 2 on Saturday, I'm going to do my pickup here. I'm like, okay, so let's try this out. So I get an email about 12:45, and it's like, oh, by the way, this item here, the Walmart brand, was not in stock. So we're going to give you like the name brand and not make you pay any difference.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So I picked like, the great value brand of marble cheese. I get an email. You're getting you're getting Cracker Barrel cheese. I'm like, oh man, this is cool.
It's a big
I
day.
don't have to pay the difference. And then it's like another one was butter, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna get the Great Value brand of butter.
Yeah.
You get email. Nope, sorry, you're gonna get Scotsburn. Oh, jeez, this is great. You know. And so you go and I get that text. I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm not gonna pay the difference. I like this. Then at 1:15 p.m., your pickup order is ready. I'm like, oh, okay. So I go in the store and I ask the greeter, excuse me, Mr. Old Man, where do I go get my groceries? He's like, oh, you don't come inside. You just go around by the garden center and park in one of the pickup spots. I'm like, oh, I don't even have to come to the store. Oh,
This is amazing.
I was, and it's like, so he's like, just go around the garden center and park in one of the pickup parking spots. I'm like, oh, okay. So I go, I'm like, it's like, okay. There's 4 empty spots. I'm like, well, which one do I park in? Okay, I'm just going to park in number 1. And it's like, call this number when you're here. So I call. Walmart pickup. Hi. I first timer here. I got an order. Oh, are you
Long time
are
listener,
you
first time
Jeremy?
caller.
Yeah, I'm Jeremy. Oh, we'll be out in a minute. Okay, so it tells me to bring my own bag, so I expect him to just drop it off and, gonna put him stuff in the bags. This guy is putting it in my trunk. I'm just, holy shit, look at the service here, man. Oh my God.
Did you get your trunk fixed?
I did get my trunk
Okay.
fixed. So this guy's putting the groceries in the trunk for me, and I'm just like, gee, okay, well, service is pretty good. I was blown away. I have never in my life heard of being able to order your own groceries online and pick them up, or a lazy ass like me get them delivered. Imagine ordering groceries and get them delivered to your doorstep. Incredible. Shout out Walmart. I'm probably living under a rock here because this has probably been around for a couple of years.
Where's that bell? The bell's on the seat there. Is there jingle bells there? Ding, ding, ding. You are living under a rock. Those are the tie bells.
Okay. This has obviously been around for a couple of years based on ringing the bell here.
Yeah.
But wow, what an experience. The fact I don't even have to, I went into the store expecting I had to pick up my order in the store.
Yeah.
But I don't even have to get out of my car to get my groceries.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We've been doing it for probably, since the pandemic. Layla was ordering, we order from PC.
Yeah.
Because the PC points, so she orders the groceries there. She, she'll email me, what do we need? Or text me, I guess. And we go there. She orders groceries. Okay, our pickup time's 5 and 6. We roll up, which as good as where the Walmart is around the garden center there, the pickup spot at the Superstore in Dieppe, it's terrible. It's right in front of the building. It should be off on the side, but whatever. But yeah, man, they call her, or they send an email, and we get up there, and they phone. Did you see the substitutions on your list? Yeah, we're all good. Would you like to use the credit card on file? Yep. And we get the points, like the points at Superstore. We get out and help the people, and with Superstore, if you have the green boxes, they'll say, do you have bags or boxes? We'll say we have two bins. If our groceries fit in 2 bins, we give them our empty ones. They give us the full ones, and off we go.
Holy shoot!
Yeah, man.
No,
life changed.
I've been doing my groceries every single week, taking an hour and a half out of my time to go to grocery shopping when I could be ordering online, and I just.
So are you a fan of going to grocery stores?
I hate it.
Oh man, see, I love it. I hate when she orders online.
Right now, like me, I went to Costco on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I thought I was gonna go out with a COVID. I felt so uncomfortable because there's literally no physical distancing.
No.
It's a freaking
it's
crock
not,
pot of COVID in that Costco.
It's not the Avenir Center.
And it's like we sat. I know I didn't sit with you. I sat with Denis, but I was sitting beside this old woman. Shout out to the elderly women. Sorry, not old, elderly. And just because I was beside somebody I didn't know, I felt so uncomfortable.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I was like, Denis had 4 tickets. So I was like, let's scoot down one. But no, at Costco, I'm just like, oh my God. I feel so uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's at grocery stores. I'm the same way. Like especially in these, like where they had the one ways. They don't have the one ways anymore. But the comments I would make at people who didn't follow the arrows.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I would. I'd be
100%.
like underneath my breath. Can't read a sign.
Yeah.
Can't read a sign.
Yeah.
It's like the ones that you drive around in their cars and don't have a blinker. It's like, don't use your blinker. What, you spend $35,000 on their car and you get a blinker with it?
That's a brand new Mercedes without a blinker. That's amazing. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, but I love grocery shopping.
I hate crowded spots right now, especially, and even like pandemic, like with or without a pandemic, I hate crowded spot. It's like a claustrophobia. I'm not claustrophobic, but I hate being around, people I don't know, where it's like, okay, I like going to parties, but it's like, I just feel uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah,
and it's like,
I get it, because when we go to a concert or the games, like we have our tickets and we kind of know who's around us, but like when we go to Imagine Dragons,
you guys going?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got tickets too.
I'm hoping that there's an extra seat beside us, so I can sit in that one, and Layla can sit beside people I don't know. Like we went to the last game beside people I didn't know. It's very uncomfortable. Didn't like it, but yeah, no, I love shopping, because I'm the guy that's just like, well, we need these and we need these. Our budget kind of takes a hit when we go shopping. Layla loves online grocery shopping because she
you
can
can't buy extra stuff.
Yes, she stays in her grocery budget. She stays in. She's like, you're getting this. You're getting this.
There's no one. You see all this stuff. You're like, oh yeah, I got it.
But PC has reward points, eh? I don't know if you. Okay, you didn't know that. Okay, cool.
But I just did Walmart because I was like, I just went on their website. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's cheaper than Superstore. I was like,
sometimes,
2 packs of boneless, skinless chicken breast for $20.
Yes,
Superstore,
same
and
thing.
You're paying like
12, 13.
$16 for 4. And at Walmart, you can get 8 for 20. Like, add that to the shopping cart, mama.
So when it was 2 for 20, oh, you weren't there. So we actually went shopping on Sunday to Walmart, like, because she's trying to find stuff for the NICU for her foundation. So people can donate to Little Hearts Big Stars Instagram. Send her a message. You can donate. NICU's looking for stuff. Anyways, we went to Walmart to buy some stuff, and then we did some of our grocery shopping there. Chicken 2 for 20. So good. So what do? You find the biggest weights you can find because you're only paying $20.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude.
I was blown away. Couldn't believe it. Definitely gonna do it again. Man, I feel like.
Are you gonna go there? Or are you gonna have it delivered?
I'll get it delivered, man. I'm such a lazy ass. I am definitely taking advantage of the delivery option. If I don't even have to get outside to get my groceries brought to me, my God,
they're probably
definitely getting delivered for the rest of my life. This is incredible.
They're gonna come to They're gonna come to the building. Jeremy, your groceries are downstairs.
Perfect. I walk down with my underwear.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, because you can't go grocery shopping in your underwear.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the Remax Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
All right, that brings us to the Rosemary Lynn Massage Wildcast of the Week. Rosemary Lynn is back for another year, sponsoring right now. Both Angelina and Nicole are accepting new clients, and they direct bill. Give them a call at 506-830-1224.
Do they deliver?
Maybe. I don't think they deliver those. We'll see if that's maybe their new thing next year.
In-home visits?
I don't believe so. No, you may just have to stick to groceries for in-home delivery, or follow her on Instagram, Rosemary_Lynn's_massage. The Wildcat of the Week goes to a player who, like we said, he maybe wasn't putting up points early in the season, but he was doing all the right things. He was physical. I mean, this guy's reverse hit and his backside, for lack of a better term, is lethal. Do all the right things on the defensive end. The points will come. He had a good week, 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists in 3 of the 4 games. As well, a great hit against Drummondville that was somehow a penalty. I don't understand it. But, he's kind of started to find a bit of a niche with Ty Bell. And I kind of wanted to see him on the live. I said I kind of wanted to see him up with LaBelle and Kalmakov. Just load that top line up right now. But we'll have to see when he comes back. The player of the week, the Wildcat of the week, is number 49, Max Barbashev. That'll do it for this week. Again, we go 2-2 in the 4 games, 2-1 in 3-3, which was a very tough 3-3, especially with the injuries piling up. They're going to need to be healthy and at their very best next weekend. as it is the return of Philip Daou and Thomas Couture on Sunday, as St. John is here at 4 p.m. and Bathurst is here on Friday night. So the Avenir Center is 100% capacity. Get your tickets. The building was pretty loud, both games, Saturday and Sunday, and this team deserves it. They're a very good team to watch. You will not be entertained. And you know what? If you're driving by the Chris Rock, they're not paying me to say this, pop in, have a beer, see if you can get a Moose Light Head bar ticket for the game on Friday night, because I'm assuming that's what they might do. Who knows what they're going to do. As always, thank you for the support. We will see you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.